Review please. All the canned speech.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well. And you?
I'm great, thank you.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
It's a pleasure to meet you, too.
It was a pleasure meeting you.
It was a pleasure meeting you, too.
How's it going? Fine, thanks. And you? Just fine. Where are you off to? To the library. I'll see you later then. Good luck.
Thanks. See you later.
Mr. Wilson, I'd like you to meet Dr. Edward Smith.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Dr. Smith. It's a pleasure to meet you, too.
Mary, this is my friend Jim.
Hi, Jim. Nice to meet you.
You too.
What time is it? We're going to be late.
It's 7:15. We're on time. Don't panic.
But I thought we had to be at the restaurant by 7:30 for the surprise party. We'll never make it there with all this evening traffic.
Sure we will. Rush hour is almost over. Anyway, the party starts at 8. But I do need help with directions. Can you call the restaurant and ask them where we park our car?
Hi, Alice. It's John. How's it going? Oh, hi, John. I was just thinking about you. That's nice. I was wondering if you'd like to go to a movie tonight. Sure, I'd love to. What's playing? I was thinking about that new comedy, Lights Out. What do you think? Sounds great. Okay, I'll pick you up around 7:30. The movie starts at 8. See you then. Bye.
사무실 상황은 어때요?
How are things at the office?
잠시 들려서 컴퓨터 프린터 용지 좀 더 사다 주시겠어요?
Can you please stop and pick up extra paper for the computer printer?
뭐라고 했어요?
What did you say?
다시 한번 말해줄래요?
Can you repeat that, please?
프린터용 잉크를 사오라고 했어요?
Did you say pick up ink for the printer?
미안해요. 전화가 끊기고 있어요.
Sorry, the phone is cutting out.
지금 제 말 들려요?
Can you hear me now?
아니요. 나는 컴퓨터 종이가 더 필요해요.
No, I need more computer paper.
들어보세요. 내가 필요한 것을 문자로 정확히 보내드릴게요.
Listen, I'll text you exactly what I need.
나중에 다시 얘기해요.
Talk to you later.
여기에서는 제 전화 수신 상태가 매우 안 좋아요.
My phone has really bad reception here.
안녕하세요. Well, hello there. 오랜만이에요. Long time no see. 정말 우연이네요. What a coincidence. 정말 오랜만이에요. I haven't seen you in ages. 여기서 뭐 하고 있어요? What are you doing here? 새 직장을 얻었어요. I just got a new job in the city. 그래서 옷을 쇼핑하고 있어요. So I'm shopping for some clothes. 이 셔츠 어때요? Hey, what do you think of this shirt? 저는 파란색을 얼마나 좋아하는지 아시죠? Well, you know how much I love blue. 보세요. 저도 같은 셔츠를 가지고 있어요. See, I've got the same shirt. 항상 좋은 취향을 가지고 있었어요. You always did have good taste. 세상 참 좁네요. What a small world. 밖이 너무 추워요. It's freezing outside. 일기예보는 어떻게 된 거죠? What happened to the weather report? 이번 한파가 지나갈 줄 알았어요. I thought this cold front was supposed to pass. 네, 저도 그렇게 생각했어요. Yeah, I thought so too. 오늘 아침에 인터넷에서 그렇게 읽었어요. That's what I read online this morning. 체감 온도가 온도를 정말 많이 떨어뜨리는 것 같아요. I guess the wind chill is really driving down the temperature. 안으로 들어가도 될까요? Can we go inside? 발가락이 얼기 시작하는 것 같아요. I feel like my toes are starting to go numb. 안녕하세요. 오늘 당신의 웨이터입니다. Hello, I'll be your waiter today. 음료부터 주문하시겠어요? Can I start you off with something to drink? 아이스티로 주세요. I'll have iced tea, please. 저는 레모네이드로 할게요. And I'll have lemonade. 알겠습니다. 주문 준비되셨나요? 아니면 몇 분 더 필요하세요? Okay. Are you ready to order? Or do you need a few minutes? 준비됐어요. 먼저 토마토 수프를 주시고 로스트 비프와 으깬 감자 그리고 완두콩을 주세요. I think we're ready. I'll have the tomato soup to start and the roast beef with mashed potatoes and peas. 비프는 어떻게 요리해드릴까요? Rare, medium, well done 중에서요? How do you want the beef? Rare, medium, or well done? well done으로 해주세요. Well done, please. 저는 생선 요리와 감자, 샐러드로 할게요. And I'll just have the fish with potatoes and a salad. 어디가 불편하신가요? What seems to be the problem? 기침이 심하고 목이 아파요. Well, I have a bad cough and a sore throat. 또, I also have a headache. 이 증상들이 얼마나 됐나요? How long have you had these symptoms? 한 3일 정도요. About 3 days now. 그리고 정말 피곤해요. And I'm really tired too. 독감에 걸리신 것 같네요. It sounds like you've got the flu. 4시간마다 아스피린을 드시고 충분히 쉬세요. Take aspirin every 4 hours and get plenty of rest. 물을 많이 마시는 것도 잊지 마세요. Make sure you drink lots of fluids. 다음 주에도 계속 아프시면 연락 주세요. Call me if you're still sick next week. 도서관이 어디 있는지 알려주시겠어요? Could you tell me where the library is? 저쪽이에요. It's that way. 새 블록을 가셔서 워싱턴 스트리트로 가세요. You go 3 blocks to Washington Street. 그런 다음 오른쪽으로 도세요. Then turn right. 은행 맞은편 모퉁이에 있어요. It's on the corner across from the bank. 저는 이 도시에 며칠밖에 없어서 아직 길을 잘 몰라요. I've only been in town a few days, so I really don't know my way around yet. 어떤 기분인지 알아요. I know how you feel. 우리는 2년 전에 여기로 이사 왔어요. We moved here a year ago. 저도 아직 모든 곳을 잘 몰라요. I still don't know where everything is. 그 차가 방금 빨간불을 무시하고 트럭을 들이받았어. That car just ran a red light and hit that truck. 누가 다쳤나요? Is anyone hurt? 잘 모르겠어. 구글 더 하자. I don't know. Let's call 911. 여보세요? 찰스 스트리트 우체국 근처에서 자동차 사고가 났다고 신고하려고 합니다. Hello? I'd like to report a car accident near the post office on Charles Street. 남자가 다친 것 같아요. It looks like a man is hurt. 방금 일어났어요. It just happened. 뭐라고 했어? What did they say? 곧바로 구급차와 경찰차를 보내준대. They're going to send an ambulance and a police car right away. 잘 됐네. 그들이 왔어. Good. They're here. 남자가 괜찮길 바래. I hope the man is okay. 운전할 때 정말 조심해야 해. You have to be so careful when you're driving. 저 디저트들 좀 봐. Look at those desserts. 오늘 쿠키를 구워보는 게 어때? How about baking some cookies today? 여기 있는 김에 재료들을 사자. While we're here, let's pick up the ingredients. 무엇이 필요하지?
What do we need?
레시피에 따르면 밀가루, 설탕, 그리고 버터가 필요해. The recipe calls for flour, sugar, and butter. 또한 계란과 초콜릿 칩도. We also need eggs and chocolate chips. 유제품은 네가 가져올래? Why don't you get the dairy ingredients? 그건 가게 뒤쪽에 냉장 코너에 있을 거야. You'll find those in the refrigerated section in the back of the store. 나는 건조한 재료들을 가져올게. 이번 통로에 있어. I'll get the dry ingredients. They're in aisle 10. 계산대에서 만나자. Let's meet at the checkout. Review all casual conversations. 이번 주에는 월요일에 하루 쉬었지만 미적분 숙제를 많이 했어요. This week I started with a day off on Monday, but I've been doing a lot of calculus homework. 여성 자선 활동에 관한 컨퍼런스에 가서 지역 자선단체를 지원하는 많은 사람들을 만났어요. I went to a conference on women's philanthropy and met many people supporting local charities. 저는 학교 봉사위원회에 속해 있어서 컨퍼런스에 초대되었어요. I attended the conference because I am on my school's service council and was invited. 저는 바바라 부시의 손녀를 만나 그녀가 운영하는 feed라는 자선단체에 대해 들었어요. I met Barbara Bush's granddaughter who spoke about her charity called Feed. 봉사위원회는 학교가 서비스 프로젝트를 하거나 지역 푸드뱅크를 위한 기금을 모을 수 있도록 단합시켜요. The Service Council unites our school for service projects or raising money for local food banks. 우리는 학대받거나 방치된 아이들을 위한 크리스마스 선물 꾸러미도 만들어요. 6. We also create Christmas care packages for abused and neglected children. 노동절에는 미적분과 스페인어를 공부했지만 가족과 함께 바비큐를 했어요. For Labor Day, I studied for calculus and Spanish, but we also had a family barbecue. 저희 부모님은 인도에서 미국으로 오셨고 대학에서 만나셨어요. My parents came to America from India and met in college. 제 여동생 이름은 카프리이고 그녀는 15살이에요. I have a younger sister named Capri, who is 15 years old. 저는 할머니와 어머니와 함께 요리하면서 자랐고 크리스마스에는 쿠키를 굽는 전통이 있어요. I grew up cooking with my grandmother and mother, and we bake cookies for Christmas. 지난 금요, 우리 학교 오케스트라는 애틀랜타에 갔어요. Last Friday, my school orchestra went to Atlanta. 우리는 대회에 참가하고 애틀랜타를 탐험했어요. We performed in a competition and explored Atlanta. 우리는 하드록 카페에 갔고 애틀랜타 심포니를 들었어요. We went to the Hard Rock Cafe and listened to the Atlanta Symphony. 2시간 반 동안의 공연이었지만 믿을 수 없을 정도로 좋았어요. It was a 2.5-hour performance, but it was unbelievable. 우리는 대회에 참가해서 최고 등급을 받았어요. We attended the competition and got a superior ranking. 그 후 식스플래그 놀이공원에서 9시간 동안 거의 모든 놀이기구를 탔어요. After that, we spent 9 hours at Six Flags riding almost every ride. 우리는 조지아 아쿠아리움을 방문해 전 세계의 해양 생물을 봤어요. We visited the Georgia Aquarium and saw sea life from around the world. 우리는 월드 오브 코카콜라에 가서 대륙별로 다양한 탄산음료를 맛봤어요. We went to the world of Coca-Cola and tasted sodas from every continent. 집으로 돌아오는 버스에서 잭 블랙 영화를 봤어요. And we watched Jack Black movies on the bus ride home. 매일 아침 6시에 일어나 피아노 연습을 하려고 노력해요. I try to wake up at 6 every morning for extra piano practice. 이 문장들을 반복 연습하면 일상 영어 표현에 익숙해지는데 도움이 될 것입니다. 이번 주에 뭐 하고 있었어요? What have you been doing this week? 이번 주에는 제 교회 활동을 시작하려고 집중하고 있었어요. This week I've been focusing on trying to get my extracurriculars started. 올해는 공부하고 성적을 올리려고 노력하고 있어요. I'm trying to study and get my grades up this year. 저는 스피치와 토론을 하고 있어요. I've been doing speech and debate. 방과 후에는 유대인 청소년 프로그램도 하고 있어요. After school, I also have a Jewish youth program that I do. 저는 성전에서 주일학교 아이들을 돕고 있어요. I help with the kids in Sunday school at Temple. Battle of the Books는 매년 책 목록에 따라 경쟁하는 학교 동아리입니다. Battle of the Books is a school club focused on a competition with a list of books. 저는 막 실비아 플라스의 벨자를 읽기 시작했어요. I just started reading The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. Science Olympiad는 주 과학 대회를 준비하는 학교 동아리입니다. Science Olympiad is a school club preparing for a state science competition. 고등학교 졸업 후에 화학학위를 받기를 정말로 희망해요. After high school, I really hope to get a degree in chemistry. In Korean. 1. 친구들과 밖에서 놀고 있었어요. 1. I've been playing outside with friends. 2. 우리는 방금 학년말 시험을 끝냈어요. 2. We just finished our end of grade tests. 3. 학교는 2주 후에 끝나요. 3. School ends in 2 weeks. 4. 친구들과 뭐하고 놀아요? 4. What do you play with friends? 5. 저는 축구, 그리고 농구를 해요. 5. I play football, soccer, and basketball. 6. 그의 마당에 농구 골대가 있어요. 6. He has a basketball hoop in his yard. 7. 당신 손에 낚싯대를 보이네요. 7. I see a fishing pole in your hands. 8. 저는 연못에 가서 낚시하는 걸 좋아해요. 8. I like to go to the pond and fish. 9. 그는 나에게 낚시하는 법을 가르쳐줬어요. 9. He taught me how to fish. 10. 우리는 스위스에서 2년 동안 살았어요. 10. We lived in Switzerland for 2 years. 우리는 학교 견학 중이에요. We're on a school field trip. 이것은 우리 주를 횡단하며 4일 동안의 여행이에요. It's a 4-day trip across our state and back. 우리는 그들이 노예를 어떻게 대했는지 배웠어요. We learned about how they treated the slaves. 우리는 그들이 양초를 어떻게 만들고 글을 썼는지 배웠어요. We learned how they made candles and wrote. 우리는 그가 어떻게 해적이 되었고 어떻게 죽었는지 배웠어요. We learned how he became a pirate and how he died. 또한 그의 전투 스타일이 배웠어요. We also learned what his battle style was. 여행을 떠나기 전에 우리는 학교에서 그들의 글라이더 모형을 만들었어요. Before we came onto the trip, we built replicas of their gliders at school. 즐거움을 위해 하는 활동이 있나요? 아니면 모든 활동이 교육적인가요? Are you doing anything just for fun, or are all your activities educational? 오늘 밤에는 춤을 출 거예요. Tonight, we'll have a dance. 어젯밤에는 볼링을 했어요. Last night, we went bowling. 저는 제 언니처럼 사진작가가 될 수도 있을 것 같아요. I might be like my older sister and be a photographer. 그냥 열심히 노력하세요. Just keep working hard. 이번 주에 내 사촌들이 뉴욕에서 내려왔어요. This week my cousins came down from New York. 우리는 우리 집에서 추수감사절을 축하했어요. We celebrated Thanksgiving at my house. 가족의 다른 쪽은 샬럿에 있어요. The other side of the family is in Charlotte. 우리는 칠면조와 으깬 감자, 고구마를 먹었어요. We had a turkey and mashed potatoes and sweet potatoes. 모두가 디저트 같은 무언가를 가져왔어요. Everybody brought something, like a dessert. 우리는 모두 테이블에 앉아서 즐거운 시간을 보냈어요. We all sat at the table and had fun. 우리는 이모의 생일을 위해 샬럿에 갔어요. We went to Charlotte for my aunt's birthday. 우리는 오번과 엘라베마 사이의 미식 축구 경기를 봤어요. We watched the football game between Auburn and Alabama. 나 엄마는 서점에 갔지만 우리는 다른 쇼핑은 하지 않았어요. My mom went to a bookstore, but we didn't do any other shopping. 아빠와 나는 함께 달리기를 했어요. My dad and I went for a run together. 우리는 여기서 멈춰서 쉬기로 했어요. We decided to stop and take a break here. 여기서 집까지 달리면 5마일이 될 거예요. It'll be 5 miles after we run back home from here. 나는 새로운 해리포터 영화를 봤어요. I saw the new Harry Potter movie. 오늘 밤 나는 부모님이 함께 해리포터 영화를 보러 가실 수 있도록 남동생과 여동생을 돌볼 거예요. Tonight, I'll babysit my little brother and sister so my parents can go see the Harry Potter movie together. 오늘 늦게 피아노 연습을 할 거예요. I'm going to piano practice later today. 이 우리를 이끌어주는 선생님이 있어요. We have a teacher who leads us. 이것은 방과 후 활동이에요. It's an after-school activity. 학교에서의 정규 수업은 합창이에요. The regular class in school is the chorus. 대수학 인을 수강해요. I take Algebra 1. 저는 피아노 연주하는 법을 공부하고 있어요. I'm studying how to play the piano. 저는 피아노 연주를 배우기로 결심했어요. I decided to learn how to play the piano. 제 여동생과 저는 가족과 함께 추수감사절을 보냈어요. My sister and I celebrated Thanksgiving with our family. 우리는 베트남 설날을 위해 춤을 연습해요. We practice dancing for Vietnamese New Year. 기본적으로 우리 모두 베트남어를 말해요. Basically, all of us speak Vietnamese. 저는 다른 사람들을 돕는 일을 하고 싶어요. I want to do something that helps other people. 시험 공부는 저에게 스트레스가 많은 시간입니다. Studying for exams is a stressful time for me. 이 선생님들이 공부할 자료를 줍니다. Teachers give us notes to study. 저는 교회 성가대에 있습니다. I am in the church choir. 우리는 일주일에 한두 번 연습합니다. We practice once or twice a week. 아빠와 저는 매주 일요일에 노래를 부릅니다. My dad and I sing every Sunday. 저는 그녀를 마당에서 도왔습니다. I helped her in the yard. 저는 돈을 받았지만 무료로도 도와줄 것입니다. I got paid, but I would help her for free. 그녀의 케이크와 파이는 환상적입니다. Her cakes and pies are fantastic. 우리는 작은 말다툼을 하지만 괜찮습니다. We have small arguments, but it is okay. 그녀는 2마리의 개, 벨과 엘라를 키우고 있습니다. She has 2 dogs, Belle and Ella. 인 무슨 악기를 연주하나요? What instrument do you play? 저는 비올라를 연주해요.
I play the viola.
오늘 오후에 기타 수업이 있어요. I have a guitar lesson this afternoon. 크리스마스가 곧 다가와요. Christmas is coming very soon. 우리는 그냥 재미로 크리스마스를 축하해요. We just celebrate Christmas for the fun of it. 우리 가족과 친구들이 모여요. My family and friends come over. 선물을 사고 만들어 본 적이 있나요? Have you ever been buying and making presents? 몇 주 전에 언어 예술 시험이 있었어요. I had this test in language arts a couple of weeks ago. 담임 선생님께 제 시험을 볼 수 있는지 물어봤어요. I asked the teacher if I could have a retake. 처음에는 안 된다고 하셔서 울기 시작했어요. At first, she said no, so I started crying. 엄마가 정말 화내실 거라는 걸 알았어요. I knew my mom would get really upset. 선생님께서 제 시험을 보게 해주셨어요. The teacher let me take a retake. 제 시험에서 100점을 받았어요.
I got 100 on my retake.
친구들이 놀러 올 거예요. I'm having friends over. 우리는 함께 자며 놀 거예요. We're going to have a sleepover. 겨울이라서 축구 연습은 일주일에 한 번밖에 하지 않았어요. I had soccer practice only once a week because it's winter. 저는 Trans-Siberian Orchestra를 보러 갔어요. I went to see the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. 교회와 합창 연습에도 갔어요. I also went to church and choir practice. 록 음악 같으면서도 크리스마스 음악 같아요. It's like rock, but it's like Christmas too. 저는 대부분 음향 장비를 다뤄요. I do the soundboard most of the time. 6. 그것들은 완전히 다른 악기예요. They're completely different instruments. 지금까지 날씨와 날씨 패턴에 대해 많이 공부했어요. So far, we've studied a lot about weather and weather patterns. Pet, 또한 지진과 토네이도 등에 대해서도 배워요. We also learn about earthquakes and tornadoes and that sort of stuff. 저는 아직 무엇을 전공할지 모르겠어요. I'm not sure what I'll go for yet. Tip, 우리는 아마 여러분과 크게 다르지 않을 거예요. We're probably not that different from you. 나는 미래를 위해 해야 할 일들을 따라잡아야 해요. I should catch up on things for the future. 나는 끝내기 위해 밤새 깨어 있었어요. I stayed up all night trying to finish. 나는 이 책을 쓰는 것을 즐겨요. I enjoy writing this book. 글쓰기는 내가 편안해지도록 도와줘요. Writing helps me relax. 나는 고등학교 졸업 후에 대학에 가고 싶어요. I want to go to a university after high school. 나는 그들의 복잡한 사회에 정말 관심이 있어요. I'm really interested in their complex societies. 내 상태는 내가 그런 걸 제한해요. My condition limits me from doing activities. 나는 아마도 친구와 공부할 거예요. I'm probably going to study with a friend. 나는 곧 기말고사를 앞두고 있어요. I have finals coming up soon. 신, 정체성을 가지는 것은 좋아요. It's good to have an identity.
Review all the news, please.
Harris leads Trump in latest poll for 2024 presidential election. In a recent poll conducted by the Hill and Decision Desk HQ, Vice President Kamala Harris has taken a notable lead over former President Donald Trump in the race for the 2024 presidential election. The poll, which surveyed a diverse group of registered voters, shows Harris with a 4.2% lead over Trump, reflecting a growing preference for the current vice president among the electorate. The poll results indicate that Harris has garnered 47.5% of the vote, while Trump trails with 43.3%. Additionally, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who is also in the race, has secured 3.1% of the vote. This data suggests that while Harris is leading, the race remains competitive, with Trump still holding a significant portion of the electorate's support. One of the key factors contributing to Harris's lead is her favorability among younger voters and minority groups. The poll highlights that Harris's policies and her role as vice president have resonated well with these demographics, giving her an edge over Trump. On the other hand, Trump's base remains strong among older voters and those in rural areas, indicating a clear divide in voter preferences. The poll also sheds light on the issues that are most important to voters in this election cycle. Economic concerns, healthcare, and climate change are at the forefront of voters' minds, with Harris being perceived as more capable of addressing these issues effectively. Trump's focus on immigration and national security continues to appeal to his core supporters, but it appears to be less of a priority for the broader electorate. As the 2024 election approaches, these poll results provide a snapshot of the current political landscape. While Harris holds a lead, the dynamic nature of election campaigns means that voter sentiments can shift rapidly. Both candidates will need to continue engaging with voters and addressing their concerns to secure a victory in what promises to be a closely contested election. Life on a South Korean Farm, A Tale of Hard Work and Savings. Introduction. In a small village nestled among the rolling hills of South Korea, I embarked on a unique adventure, spending 2 months working on a farm in exchange for free lodging and meals. What began as an opportunity to immerse myself in rural life turned into a transformative experience, one that tested my limits, taught me resilience, and left me with unexpected savings. The daily grind. From dawn till dusk, my days followed a rhythm set by the sun. I planted rice seedlings, tended to persimmon trees, and herded goats. The work was physically demanding, often leaving my muscles sore and my hands calloused. Yet, there was a beauty in the simplicity, the smell of freshly turned soil, the camaraderie with fellow farmhands, and the satisfaction of seeing crops thrive under my care. Frugal living. With no paycheck to rely on, I learned to stretch every dollar. The farm provided basic meals, kimchi, rice, and vegetables, but I supplemented my diet with foraged wild greens and the occasional treat from the local market. My lodging was a modest room in the farmhouse, where I slept on a thin futon and listened to the wind rustling through the bamboo groves. The unexpected windfall. As the weeks turned into months, I noticed something remarkable. My bank account was growing. By avoiding unnecessary expenses and embracing the frugal lifestyle, I saved at least $2,000. It was a windfall I hadn't anticipated, a safety net for future travels, or perhaps a down payment on a dream. Reflections. As I bid farewell to the farm, I carried more than memories. I had gained a deeper appreciation for hard work, a connection to the land, and a newfound respect for those who toil silently to feed our world. South Korea had given me not only a place to rest my head, but also a lesson in resilience and resourcefulness. Whether it was the taste of freshly harvested radishes or the ache in my muscles after a day in the fields, those 2 months on the farm left an indelible mark. Life there was far from easy, but it was a chapter one wouldn't trade for anything. South Korea's dominance in fencing, archery, and shooting at the Olympics. South Korea has consistently demonstrated exceptional prowess in sports that involve precision and offensive skills, such as fencing, archery, and shooting. This dominance can be attributed to a combination of rigorous training programs, a strong cultural emphasis on discipline, and significant investment in sports infrastructure. The country's success in these sports is not only a source of national pride, but also a testament to its strategic approach to athletic development. One of the key factors behind South Korea's success in fencing is its comprehensive training system. Athletes undergo intense training regimens that focus on both physical conditioning and mental fortitude. The South Korean fencing team, particularly in the saber discipline, has achieved remarkable results, including multiple Olympic gold medals. This success is a result of meticulous preparation and the ability to perform under pressure. In archery, South Korea's dominance is unparalleled. The country has won numerous gold medals in both individual and team events, often sweeping the podium. This success can be traced back to the early identification and nurturing of talent, as well as the implementation of advanced training techniques. South Korean archers are known for their precision and consistency, qualities that are honed through years of dedicated practice. Shooting is another sport where South Korea has excelled, particularly in events that require steady hands and sharp focus. The country's shooters have secured medals in various Olympic events, showcasing their ability to remain calm and composed under pressure. The success in shooting is supported by state-of-the-art facilities and a strong support system that includes experienced coaches and sports psychologists. Overall, South Korea's achievements in these sports are a result of a well-rounded approach that combines talent identification, rigorous training, and psychological preparation. The country's athletes are not only physically prepared, but also mentally resilient, enabling them to perform at their best on the world stage. This holistic approach has made South Korea a formidable force in the Olympics, particularly in sports that require precision and offensive skills. Stock market decline. AI stocks hit hard amid investor reconsideration. Introduction. In a sudden turn of events, the stock market experienced a significant decline this week, with particular repercussions for artificial intelligence (AI) stocks. Investors, once bullish on AI-driven companies, are now reevaluating their positions. Let's delve into the details. The plunge. Shares in both the US and Asian markets plummeted, catching many investors off guard. The tech-heavy Nasdaq index, which includes several prominent AI companies, saw substantial losses. The recent rally that had propelled these stocks to new heights is now facing headwinds. AI stocks under scrutiny. Companies specializing in AI, machine learning, and automation bore the brunt of the decline. Industry giants like Company A, Company B, and Company C saw their stock prices tumble. Analysts attribute this correction to concerns about overvaluation and the sustainability of AI-driven growth. Investor sentiment shifts. Previously, investors were enamored with the promise of AI revolutionizing industries, from autonomous vehicles to personalized healthcare. However, recent events have prompted a reality check. Questions about profitability, regulatory challenges, and the pace of technological adoption are now at the forefront. Looking ahead, while the market remains volatile, some experts believe this correction is healthy. It forces investors to reassess risk and consider long-term fundamentals. As companies continue to innovate, the AI sector's trajectory remains promising, albeit with more cautious optimism. "16 Nobel Prize-winning economists recently issued a warning that former President Donald Trump's economic plans could reignite inflation if he were to win the presidency again. Led by economist Joseph Stiglitz, who won the Nobel Prize in 2001, these economists expressed concerns about Trump's proposals potentially causing inflation to rise. Key points. Inflation concerns. The economists highlighted worries that Trump's fiscally irresponsible budgets might stoke inflation. Despite recent declines, inflation remains a concern for many Americans. Tariffs and immigration. Trump's policies, such as imposing a 10% across-the-board tariff on all imports and deporting immigrants, could contribute to inflation. The tariff plan alone would add $1,700 in annual costs for the typical U.S. household, acting as an inflationary tax. Deporting immigrants could also affect the labor force and wages, adding further inflationary pressure. Biden's economic agenda. The economists praise some of President Joe Biden's economic policies, including investments in U.S. manufacturing and infrastructure. They believe these investments will enhance productivity, promote economic growth, and lower long-term inflationary pressures. In summary, while Trump's economic plans raise concerns about inflation, the economists view Biden's agenda as superior in addressing economic challenges. Lavish Ambani wedding captivates the world. Mumbai, India. The opulent wedding of Isha Ambani, daughter of Indian business magnate Mukesh Ambani, has taken the world by storm. The grand affair, held at the Ambani family's luxurious Antilia residence in Mumbai, was a dazzling display of wealth, tradition, and celebrity glamour. 1. A billion-dollar celebration. The Ambani wedding was no ordinary event. With a price tag estimated at over $1 billion, it set a new standard for extravagance. The bride, Isha Ambani, wore a custom-made diamond-studded lehenga, traditional Indian attire that reportedly cost millions. The guest list included Bollywood stars, international dignitaries, and business tycoons from around the globe. 2. Star-studded performances. Entertainment was at the heart of this celebration. Renowned artists like Beyoncé, Coldplay, and A.R. Rahman graced the stage, leaving the audience in awe. Their performances added to the fairy tale atmosphere, making it a night to remember. 3. Traditional ceremonies. Amid the glitz and glamour, the Ambani wedding also honored Indian traditions. Elaborate rituals, including the Sangeet musical evening, Mehendi henna application, and Farah's wedding vows, were conducted with utmost reverence. The Ambani family's commitment to preserving cultural heritage was evident throughout the festivities. 4. Philanthropic gestures. In a remarkable display of generosity, the Ambani family used the wedding as an opportunity to give back. They organized food drives, medical camps, and other charitable initiatives for the less fortunate. Mukesh Ambani emphasized the importance of social responsibility, turning the celebration into a force for good. 5. Legacy and influence. The Ambani dynasty's influence extends far beyond business. Their weddings become cultural touchpoints, shaping trends and inspiring generations. As Isha Ambani and her husband Anand Piramal embark on their journey together, their union symbolizes not only love but also the enduring legacy of one of India's most powerful families. In summary, the lavish Ambani wedding was a blend of tradition, glamour, and philanthropy, a spectacle that will be remembered for years to come. Dongtinghu embankment collapse. China's second-largest freshwater lake evacuated. Hunan Province, China. On the 6th of July, China's second-largest freshwater lake, Dongtinghu Lake, faced a crisis when its embankment collapsed due to heavy rain. The incident occurred in Huarong County, Weiyang City, Hunan Province. Here are the key details. Embankment collapse. At 5:48 p.m. the previous day, part of the TOHO embankment gave way, stretching approximately 220 meters. Videos on social media showed nearby farmland and houses submerged as the embankment crumbled. All roads to and from Hwarong County, home to around 500,000 people, were closed. Presidential order. Chinese President Xi Jinping, during a state visit to Tajikistan, urgently ordered protection for the affected area. President Xi emphasized the need for swift relief and rescue efforts, given the ongoing rainy season and high rainfall in some regions. No casualties reported. Fortunately, there were no casualties reported in the incident. Over 2,100 rescuers and 160 ships were mobilized for emergency recovery work. South Central China's challenges. Unlike northern China experiencing a heat wave, south-central regions grapple with heavy rains and floods. Hunan province witnessed the largest downpour of the year since last month, with some areas experiencing record-breaking precipitation. The Yangtze River's water level rose, leading to the evacuation of approximately 250,000 residents to temporary facilities. Tornado in Shandong province. On the 5th, a tornado in Huzhou City, Shandong province, caused significant damage. About 80 people were seriously injured, and 2,800 buildings collapsed due to strong winds and torrential rain. As authorities continue rescue efforts, the situation remains critical. Dongdinghe's collapse underscores the challenges posed by extreme weather events in China. Taylor Swift's concert earnings, a billion-dollar spectacle. Introduction. Taylor Swift, the reigning queen of pop, has taken the music industry by storm. Her Eras tour, spanning 5 continents, has left audiences awestruck with its dazzling performances and jaw-dropping outfits. But just how much does Taylor make per concert? Let's dive into the numbers. Ticket sales and exclusivity deals. In 2023, Taylor's North American leg of the Eras tour raked in a staggering $700 million from ticket sales alone. But that's not all. She was paid a whopping £14 million for 6 exclusive shows in Singapore. Why? Because her arrival in any city generates spending and boosts the local economy. Singapore wisely retained exclusivity to her concert, ensuring a tourism influx. The mind-boggling figures. For each concert she performs, Taylor Swift makes approximately $13.6 million, £10.73 million, according to Forbes. Yes, you read that right. If we break it down, she earns roughly $1,260 every second she's on stage. With 152 shows across continents, her total ticket sales could exceed $2 billion, £1.58 billion. And that's before factoring in merchandise sales, a huge part of Taylor's fan culture. Merchandise magic. Beyond ticket revenue, Taylor adds to her fortune through merchandise. Billboard estimates she earns around $2 million per concert from merch sales. From hoodies to tour programs, fans can't get enough of Taylor's branded goodies. Conclusion. Taylor Swift's concert earnings are astronomical, cementing her status as a billionaire pop icon. So next time you're at one of her shows, remember, every note she sings is worth millions. South Korea's defense industry gains global attention. South Korea's defense industry has become a focal point in the global market. Recent foreign news articles highlight the remarkable achievements of South Korean defense companies, which have significantly expanded their overseas export performance. According to Breaking Defense, South Korea's defense product exports increased by approximately 74% compared to the period from 2013 to 2017. This growth trend positions South Korea for potential entry into the lucrative U.S. market. Export surge and market potential. Breaking Defense reports that South Korea's defense industry has witnessed substantial growth in recent years. From 2018 to 2022, defense exports surged, reflecting a remarkable 74% increase compared to the previous 5 years. This impressive performance underscores South Korea's emergence as a major player in the global defense export arena. Key players such as Hanwha, Hyundai Rotem, and LIG Next One have contributed significantly to this success. Their capabilities, combined with government support, have fueled South Korea's upward trajectory in the defense sector. Ukraine conflict as a catalyst. The New York Times sheds light on South Korea's weapon exports, attributing the country's success to the conflict in Ukraine. As Russia's invasion of Ukraine unfolded, countries worldwide faced supply shortages due to increased demand for military support. South Korea seized this opportunity to supply 155mm artillery shells to the U.S., achieving a notable milestone. Looking ahead, South Korea's defense industry remains promising, with further potential for growth and collaboration with international partners. Challenges and technological gap. Despite these achievements, challenges persist. South Korea's defense industry continues to grapple with a technological gap compared to advanced nations. While the industry has expanded its market share and revenue, it still lags behind in critical technology. Reliance on foreign imports for advanced weaponry, such as fighter jets and electronic warfare systems, underscores the need for sustained research and development efforts. The government's commitment to closing this gap will be crucial for long-term success. Future prospects. In conclusion, South Korea's defense industry stands at a critical juncture. As it navigates global markets and strives for technological excellence, collaboration with international partners and investment in R&D will be vital. With continued support and strategic planning, South Korea can maintain its upward trajectory and contribute significantly to global security and stability. Disclaimer: this article is for informational purposes only and does not constitute professional advice or endorsement. Geopolitical game changer, Putin's presence in Pyongyang. Opening. Russian President Vladimir Putin's recent visit to North Korea has marked a significant moment in the relationship between the two nations. This historic event, the first of its kind in 24 years, has drawn global attention and raised questions about the implications for regional security and international diplomacy. Background. Putin's arrival in Pyongyang was met with considerable fanfare as the North Korean capital was adorned with Russian flags and portraits of the visiting leader. The warm reception highlighted the deepening ties between Russia and North Korea, particularly in light of the current geopolitical climate and mutual interests in opposing U.S.-led sanctions. The visit. During his stay, Putin was greeted by North Korean leader Kim Jong-un at the airport, a gesture underscoring the personal rapport between the two heads of state. The leaders engaged in talks that covered a range of topics, including economic cooperation and strategic partnerships, aimed at circumventing Western sanctions and bolstering their respective positions on the global stage. Expert analysis. Experts have been astounded by the overt display of camaraderie and the potential ramifications of this visit. There is a growing concern over an arms arrangement that could see North Korea supplying Russia with munitions for the conflict in Ukraine, in exchange for economic aid and technological support. This could significantly alter the balance of power and escalate tensions in an already volatile international arena. Conclusion. As President Putin concludes his visit, the world watches closely to see how this alliance will evolve. The outcomes of this meeting could have far-reaching effects, not only for the two nations involved, but also for the broader international community as it grapples with the challenges of a multipolar world order. Korean spicy noodles recalled over health hazard. In a surprising turn of events, popular Korean spicy noodles have been recalled due to a significant health hazard. The Danish Food and Drug Administration has issued a warning, stating that the noodles contain capsaicin in large quantities, which poses a risk to children and frail adults. The recall affects 3 products imported under the names Samyang Buldak 3x Spicy and Hot Chicken, Samyang Buldak 2x Spicy and Hot Chicken, and Samyang Buldak Hot Chicken Stew. These products have become infamous for their extreme spiciness, which has led to viral food challenges online. The Danish Veterinary and Food Administration has expressed concerns over the high levels of capsaicin, which could lead to acute poisoning. Symptoms such as burning and discomfort, nausea, vomiting, and high blood pressure have been reported. Samyang Foods, the Seoul-based company responsible for producing these noodles, has acknowledged the recall. This is the first time the company's products have been recalled due to their spiciness. The company is now working to better understand local regulations in export markets to prevent future incidents. Consumers are advised to discard any of the recalled products or return them to the store where they were purchased. The Danish authorities are urging parents to keep these noodles away from children and to contact the poison line if any acute symptoms are observed. National Debt Tracker, a soaring burden for American taxpayers. As of June 6, 2024, the National Debt Tracker has reported a staggering figure that every American taxpayer is now responsible for: $34.66 trillion. This astronomical amount reflects the growing financial obligations of the United States and raises concerns about the future economic stability of the nation. The impact on future generations. Economists are sounding the alarm, warning that the current trajectory of national debt could have dire consequences for future generations. With each citizen's share of the debt now exceeding $34 trillion, the burden of repayment is not just on today's taxpayers, but will be passed down to children and grandchildren. The implications for education, Social Security, and healthcare are profound, as funds may become increasingly scarce. Government response and fiscal policies. In response to the soaring debt, the government has outlined a series of fiscal policies aimed at curbing expenditure and increasing revenue. These measures include budget cuts in various sectors, tax reforms, and initiatives to stimulate economic growth. However, critics argue that these steps may not be sufficient to reverse the trend, and more aggressive action is needed. Public sentiment and accountability. The public's reaction to the rising debt has been one of concern and frustration. Taxpayers are demanding greater accountability and transparency from their elected officials. Advocacy groups are calling for a bipartisan effort to tackle the debt crisis, emphasizing the need for long-term solutions over short-term fixes. Looking ahead, a call for prudent economic management. As the national debt tracker continues to climb, it serves as a stark reminder of the importance of prudent economic management. The need for a sustainable fiscal strategy has never been more critical. It is a call to action for policymakers, economists, and citizens alike to engage in constructive dialogue and work collaboratively towards securing a more financially stable future for the United States. This article is a starting point and can be tailored further to fit the tone and style of your publication. It's important to note that the figures and policies mentioned should be verified with the latest data and government sources before publishing. China's Chang'e 6 mission, a lunar leap. China's space agency has achieved a historic milestone with the Chang'e 6 spacecraft landing on the far side of the moon. This unprecedented mission aims to collect lunar samples, potentially unlocking secrets of the moon's ancient past. Exploring the unknown. The Chang'e 6 touched down in the South Pole Aitken Basin, targeting areas unexplored by previous missions. The lander's suite of tools, including a drill and mechanical arm, will gather up to 2 kilograms of lunar material. Technological triumph. This mission showcases China's advanced space technology and contributes to the global understanding of lunar geology. The samples, once returned, will offer insights into the moon's mantle and early solar system history. Implications for future missions. The success of Chang'e 6 could lead to further exploration of the moon's south pole, where ice deposits may support future human colonies. It also highlights the importance of international cooperation in space exploration. A new era of discovery. As the world awaits the return of the samples, China's Chang'e 6 mission represents not just a national achievement but a step forward for all humankind in the quest to explore the cosmos. Stay tuned for updates on this groundbreaking endeavor. Tragedy strikes Papua New Guinea, landslide buries over 2,000. In a devastating turn of events, a massive landslide has struck a remote village in Papua New Guinea, reportedly burying over 2,000 people. The catastrophe has sent shockwaves through the nation as rescue workers scramble to reach survivors. Rescue efforts hindered by harsh conditions. The rescue operations are facing immense challenges due to the landslide's aftermath. A critical highway has been blocked, and the unstable terrain is posing ongoing dangers to the rescue teams. Efforts to reach the affected area are being hampered by the treacherous conditions, making it a race against time to find survivors. Government appeals for international aid. As the scale of the disaster becomes apparent, the Papua New Guinea government has issued an international plea for assistance. The landslide has not only claimed lives but also destroyed buildings and vital food gardens, dealing a severe blow to the local economy. Impact on the community and economy. The landslide has caused extensive damage to the community's infrastructure and economy. The destruction of buildings and agricultural lands has left many without shelter or a source of income, exacerbating the already dire situation. Global response to the crisis. The international community, including aid organizations, has responded to the call for help. As the situation unfolds, the world watches and hopes that the combined efforts will bring relief to the victims of this tragic natural disaster. This article provides a brief overview of the current situation, and the information is based on the latest available reports. The numbers and details may change as more information becomes available. Former U.S. President Donald Trump's strategy toward South Korea. As the 2024 U.S. presidential election draws closer, the potential return of former President Donald Trump to the White House has caught the attention of allies and adversaries alike. Trump's unorthodox approach to foreign policy during his first term could significantly impact geopolitical dynamics worldwide. One critical relationship that might be affected is the United States' alliance with South Korea. 1. Policy toward North Korea. During his first term, Trump worked closely with South Korea while pursuing North Korea policy. However, if he were to return for a second term, he might break with South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol's containment approach toward North Korea's nuclear program. Yoon has emphasized strengthening deterrence through the alliance with the United States while pressuring North Korea diplomatically. Trump, on the other hand, favored personal engagement with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, even suspending military exercises on the Korean peninsula to facilitate diplomacy. 2. Openness to engagement. A second-term Trump might be more open to engagement and accommodation toward Pyongyang than Yoon. Trump's preference for direct diplomacy with Kim and his willingness to meet for summits signaled a departure from traditional approaches. While Yoon seeks concrete progress toward denuclearization, Trump's approach could involve alternative paths. 3. Cost-sharing and troop presence. Trump's demands for cost-sharing have also impacted the alliance. He accused Seoul of free-riding on U.S. military might and pressed for increased payments for stationing U.S. forces in South Korea. The 66-year alliance faced friction over financial burden sharing, and a second Trump term could reignite these tensions. 4. Geopolitical implications. A Trump comeback would likely create friction in the South Korea-U.S. relationship. The delicate balance between deterrence, diplomacy, and economic pressure on North Korea would be at stake. South Korea's strategic elites have generally opposed nuclearization, favoring powerful diplomacy over nuclear weapons. Trump's return could reshape this delicate balance and impact regional stability. 5. Uncertain path ahead. As the world watches the 2024 election unfold, the U.S.-South Korea alliance remains in flux. Whether Trump's unconventional strategies return to the Oval Office or not, the alliance's future will depend on how leaders navigate the complex geopolitical landscape. Note: this article reflects the situation at the time of writing and does not constitute official policy analysis.
K-pop, a global sensation that knows no boundaries. Introduction. K-pop, short for Korean pop music, has transcended geographical borders and captured the hearts of millions worldwide. With its infectious melodies, mesmerizing choreography, and dedicated fanbase, K-pop has become a cultural force to be reckoned with. Let's delve into the fascinating world of K-pop and explore what makes it so irresistible. 1. The rise of K-pop icons. From BTS to Blackpink, K-pop groups have risen to international stardom, breaking records and shattering expectations. These idols undergo rigorous training, honing their vocal skills, dance moves, and stage presence. Their dedication pays off as they dominate music charts, sell out stadiums, and collaborate with global artists. K-pop's appeal lies not only in the music but also in the captivating personalities of its stars. 2. The power of fandoms. K-pop fandoms are a force to be reckoned with. Devoted fans, known as stans, rally behind their favorite groups, organizing fan events, streaming music videos, and trending hashtags. Social media platforms like Twitter and TikTok become battlegrounds for fan wars and celebrations. The sense of community and shared passion unites fans across continents, creating a global K-pop family. 3. Innovative music videos. K-pop music videos are visual spectacles. Elaborate sets, intricate costumes, and cinematic storytelling elevate the viewing experience. Whether it's BTS dancing in a neon-lit subway or Twice transforming into superheroes, these videos push creative boundaries. Fans eagerly anticipate each release, dissecting symbolism and hidden messages. K-pop MVs are more than entertainment, they're art. 4. Cultural exchange and fusion. K-pop seamlessly blends Korean and Western influences. English, hip-hop beats, and collaborations with international artists bridge cultural gaps. K-pop's fusion of genres, EDM, R&B, rock, creates a unique sound. The annual KCON conventions bring fans together, celebrating not only music but also Korean food, fashion, and beauty. K-pop serves as a gateway to Korean culture, fostering global appreciation. 5. Challenges and triumphs. Despite its global success, K-pop faces challenges. Intense schedules, mental health issues, and industry pressures take a toll on idols. However, their resilience and passion keep them going. As K-pop continues to evolve, its impact on the music industry remains undeniable. From sold-out arenas to viral dance challenges, K-pop's journey is far from over. Brace yourselves. The next chart-topping hit might just be a K-pop anthem.
Fed says interest rates staying high amid stubborn inflation. The Federal Reserve has reiterated its commitment to keeping interest rates at a two-decade high until it gains greater confidence that inflation is sustainably slowing toward its 2% target. In a statement following its latest meeting, the Fed maintained its key rate at approximately 5.3%, emphasizing that inflation has remained stubbornly high in recent months. The combination of persistent inflation and elevated interest rates has also emerged as a potential challenge for President Joe Biden's re-election bid. Fed Chair Jerome Powell acknowledged that inflation has not made further progress toward the 2% objective, and he cautioned that gaining greater confidence might take longer than previously expected. Despite recent setbacks, Powell expressed optimism that inflation would eventually move back down over the course of the year. Wall Street initially responded positively to the prospect of future rate cuts, but stock prices later erased their gains, reflecting uncertainty about the Fed's path forward. Scenarios ahead. Powell outlined potential scenarios for the coming months. If hiring remains strong and inflation stabilizes, the Fed may hold off on rate cuts. However, if inflation continues to cool or unemployment unexpectedly rises, the central bank would likely reduce its benchmark rate. Such cuts would gradually lower borrowing costs for mortgages, auto loans, and other consumer and business borrowing. Global context. The Fed's moves are closely watched worldwide, especially by other central banks facing similar challenges. Powell noted that the United States' robust growth distinguishes it from other countries considering rate cuts. He emphasized the need for patience, suggesting that the U.S. can afford to wait. Meanwhile, the Fed also revealed plans to slow the pace of shrinking its holdings of U.S. Treasuries, a measure taken during the pandemic to bolster the economy. In summary, the Federal Reserve's commitment to high interest rates reflects its cautious approach to inflation. As the U.S. grapples with persistent price pressures, the central bank balances economic stability and the need to cool an overheated economy. The path forward remains uncertain, but the Fed's vigilance underscores the importance of managing inflationary risks while supporting growth. China's economic stagnation, a global concern. The Chinese economy, once a powerhouse of global growth, is facing a period of stagnation that spells trouble for both domestic and international markets. Experts warn that the world's second-largest economy is approaching a dead end, with years of unfulfilled promises of reform and erratic policies leading to weak domestic consumer demand and slowing growth. The root of the crisis. At the heart of China's economic woes is the Communist Party's excessive control over the economy. This has only intensified under President Xi Jinping's tenure, stifling innovation and entrepreneurship. The government's reliance on export surges to revive growth is proving futile as it fails to address the underlying issues of the economic model. Global trade tensions escalate. China's strategy to counteract its economic slowdown by ramping up exports is causing friction with trade partners. The United States and others are growing increasingly concerned about the flood of cheap Chinese goods distorting global markets. This has led to calls for imposing severe tariffs on a range of Chinese goods, further complicating the trade landscape. Domestic discontent and government repression. The economic downturn is leading to widespread discontent among the Chinese populace, who face gloomy economic prospects. In response, the Communist Party is likely to tighten its grip on power and increase repression, a move that could exacerbate social tensions and lead to further instability. The end of an era. The current state of China's economy indicates the end of the reform and opening era that began in the late 1970s. With consumers reluctant to spend and trade barriers rising, China's economic miracle seems to have concluded with a whimper rather than a bang. The implications for global economic health are significant, as nations around the world have become deeply intertwined with China's economic fortunes. Title: Pageant Shakeup, Miss USA and Miss Teen USA resign amid controversy. Introduction. In a stunning turn of events, Uma Sofia Srivastava, the reigning Miss Teen USA, and Noelia Voigt, the current Miss USA, have both resigned from their prestigious positions. The back-to-back resignations have sent shockwaves through the pageant community and have raised serious questions about the internal workings of the organization. Miss USA's departure. Noelia Voigt, the first Venezuelan American to win Miss USA, announced her resignation earlier this week. Voigt cited mental health concerns as a primary reason for her departure. Her decision to step down has been met with an outpouring of support from fans and fellow pageant participants alike. Miss Teen USA follows suit. Just days after Voigt's announcement, Uma Sofia Srivastava took to Instagram to declare her own resignation. Srivastava, who represented New Jersey, expressed that her personal values no longer aligned with the direction of the pageant organization. Her post, which included a quote from philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche, hinted at deeper issues within the Miss USA and Miss Teen USA organizations. The pageant community reacts. The consecutive resignations have prompted a flurry of reactions from the public and those within the pageant industry. Many have called for greater transparency and accountability from the organization's leadership. The resignations have also sparked discussions about the pressures faced by young women in the spotlight and the importance of mental health. Looking ahead. As the pageant world grapples with these unexpected changes, the focus turns to the future of the Miss USA and Miss Teen USA organizations. With two major title holders stepping down, the organizations must navigate through the controversy while upholding their commitment to empowering young women. OECD raises South Korea's economic growth forecast. In a significant update, the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD, has revised its growth forecast for South Korea's economy in 2024. The OECD now expects the nation to achieve a 2.6% growth rate, up from the previously projected 2.2%. This adjustment reflects South Korea's resilient export performance, particularly in the semiconductor sector, and a stronger than anticipated global recovery pace. Exports and domestic demand drive growth. The OECD's report highlights that South Korea's growth is set to be fueled by robust demand for its exports, especially semiconductors, which have seen a substantial rebound. Additionally, domestic demand is anticipated to recover in the latter half of the year, aided by expected rate cuts. This combination of external and internal economic strengths positions South Korea as one of the leading growth performers among OECD member nations. Structural reforms recommended amidst aging population. With the backdrop of a rapidly aging population and declining birth rates, the OECD has recommended that South Korea undertake structural reforms. These include changes to the state pension service and adjustments in labor and fiscal policies. Such reforms are deemed crucial for sustaining long-term economic stability and growth. Inflation projections and global economic outlook. The OECD also provided an updated inflation forecast for South Korea, setting it at 2.6% for the year, a slight decrease from the previous estimate. This rate is notably below the OECD average of 4.8%. On a broader scale, the organization revised its global economic growth projection to 3.1%, indicating a gradual easing of inflation and improvement in employment across major economies. Conclusion. The OECD's revised forecast is a testament to South Korea's economic resilience and its ability to navigate through global economic challenges. As the nation continues to adapt and grow, the international community watches with interest to see how these projections will unfold in the dynamic landscape of the global economy. Campus tensions escalate. Over 200 arrested at UCLA protests. Arrests at UCLA protests. Over 200 individuals were arrested during a large-scale protest at the University of California, Los Angeles, UCLA. The demonstrators were part of a nationwide movement advocating for universities to divest from businesses supporting the war in Gaza. UCLA's student encampment was cleared by police in a late-night operation, resulting in the arrests of students and faculty. The situation escalated when masked individuals, described as instigators, attacked the encampment, leading to violent clashes. Law enforcement response. Despite the presence of campus security and police, there was little intervention during the initial assault on the encampment. This lack of action has raised questions about law enforcement's handling of the situation. The police operation involved at least 250 officers and utilized flashbangs and impact munitions against the protesters. The use of force has sparked a debate on the appropriateness of such tactics in managing civil demonstrations. Nationwide impact. The incident at UCLA is not isolated. Reports indicate nearly 2,200 arrests related to pro-Palestinian protests on U.S. college campuses in recent weeks. These events highlight the complex interplay between student activism, university policies, and law enforcement responses. Ongoing dialogue and recovery. As the nation observes, university officials and student organizers continue their dialogue. The hope is to find peaceful resolutions amidst the turmoil. The UCLA campus, now in recovery mode, serves as a reminder of the passionate convictions and contentious issues at the heart of these protests. South Korea's defense budget soars amid rising tensions. In a world where the specter of conflict looms large, nations are bracing for the possibility of war by bolstering their military capabilities. South Korea, a nation long under the shadow of its northern neighbor's threats, has taken significant steps to strengthen its defense systems. The South Korean government has proposed a 4.5% increase in its defense budget for the year 2024, with plans to allocate 59.49 trillion won, approximately $45 billion. This move is part of a broader strategy to enhance the country's military readiness amid escalating tensions on the Korean peninsula. The increased budget will cover a range of military expenditures, from the acquisition of advanced weapons systems to the operational costs of running the armed forces. The focus is on ensuring that South Korea remains prepared for any eventuality, with investments in cutting-edge technology and the well-being of military personnel. As the global community watches the developments in East Asia, financial experts also weigh in on the economic implications of war. They advise individuals and businesses alike to prepare for the financial turbulence that war can bring. Strategies include diversifying investments, holding on to cash reserves, and securing assets against potential risks. The recent budget proposal by South Korea serves as a stark reminder of the costs associated with maintaining peace and security in an uncertain world. It also highlights the need for prudent financial planning, both at the national and individual levels, to weather the storms of conflict. As the situation develops, the world holds its breath, hoping for peace but preparing for the possibility of war. Massive floods threaten tens of millions as intense rains batter southern China. By Nectar Gon, Hassan Tayer, and Martha Zhou. April 22, 2024. Heavy rains have hammered southern China, leading to massive floods that threaten the lives of tens of millions of people. The intense downpours have caused widespread flooding in homes, streets, and farmland, prompting urgent rescue efforts to evacuate trapped residents. Key points. Location: southern China. Impact: tens of millions affected. Missing persons: at least 11 people missing, including 6 from the town of Jiangwan near Shaoguan City in the province's mountainous north. Landslides: heavy downpours triggered landslides, injuring 6 people in Jiangwan, Guangdong Province. An economic powerhouse with a population of 127 million, Guangdong has faced sustained torrential rains since April 16. Pearl River Delta, the region's manufacturing heartland and one of China's most populated areas. Record rainfall: 4 weather stations in Guangdong reported record rainfall for April. Climate crisis. Scientists warn that extreme weather events will become deadlier and more frequent due to the climate crisis. Current situation. River swelling. At least 44 rivers in the Pearl River Basin have swelled above the warning line, threatening to burst their banks. Bay River warning. Authorities have warned of a once-a-century flood on the Bay River, expected to reach 5.8 meters, 19 feet, above the warning limit. Villages inundated. Aerial footage shows villages submerged by murky floodwaters, with only roofs and treetops visible in some places. Rescue efforts. Rescuers are working tirelessly to extract residents from neck-high waters and provide aid. Climate impact. Weather events in China have become more intense and unpredictable due to global warming. The situation remains critical as authorities raise the flood control emergency response for the Pearl River Delta to level 2. The region's defenses against floods are being severely tested, and communities are grappling with the devastating impact of the intense rains. Seafood could have higher levels of forever chemicals. Published on April 18, 2024. A new study has raised concerns about the potential presence of forever chemicals in seafood. These man-made toxins, known as per- and polyfluoroalkyl substances (PFAS), do not break down easily and can persist in the environment for a long time. Researchers from Dartmouth College in the USA have found that certain marine creatures, such as shrimp, prawns, and lobster, may contain alarmingly high levels of these chemicals. Health risks associated with forever chemicals. Forever chemicals have been associated with various health issues, including cancer, kidney and liver problems, hormonal changes, and developmental damage to babies in the womb. While seafood is a valuable source of lean protein and omega fatty acids, the study suggests that consumers should be aware of the risks associated with PFAS exposure. Background on forever chemicals. Forever chemicals were developed in the 1930s and have been widely used in various products since the 1950s. They are commonly found in food packaging materials, including food wrappers, takeout containers, and pizza boxes. Over time, these chemicals have entered our food chain, with seafood being particularly affected. Recommendations and awareness. Professor Megan Romano, one of the study's authors, emphasizes that the recommendation is not to avoid seafood altogether. Instead, she encourages people to continue enjoying seafood while being informed about the potential risks. Understanding what we consume is essential, and awareness can help individuals make informed dietary choices. In summary, while seafood remains a valuable part of a healthy diet, it's crucial to stay informed about the presence of forever chemicals. Researchers advocate for safety guidelines regarding PFAS in seafood to protect consumers' health.
World's first AI beauty contest.
The world's first AI beauty pageant, known as Miss AI, has been announced, and AI-generated women can compete to be crowned the digital equivalent of Miss World. Here are some details about the contest. Miss AI competition. The Miss AI pageant is organized by the World AI Creator Awards (WAICAs), a global program dedicated to recognizing the achievements of AI creators worldwide. Competitors can enter the AI-generated women they have created for a chance to win the Miss AI crown. Contestants will be judged based on their beauty, the skill and implementation of AI tools used to create them, and their social media influence as influencers. An expert panel of 4 judges, including 2 AI-generated influencers, Emily Pellegrini and Aitana Lopez, and 2 real people, marketing expert Andrew Block and pageant historian Sally-Ann Fawcett, will rank the contestants. Prizes. The AI creator crowned Miss AI will receive a $5,000 cash prize along with access to Imagine Education's mentorship program, worth $3,000, and PR support, worth over $5,000. The runner-up and third-placed contestants will also win prizes. How to enter. To participate, competitors need to submit an image of their AI-generated woman. They must also answer questions ranging from what would be your one dream to make the world a better place, to technical details about the AI used. Judging and announcement. The Miss AI contestants will be narrowed down to a top 10 before the final 3 are announced at an online awards ceremony in May. AI and beauty contests. In addition to Miss AI, other beauty contests have also explored AI judging. For instance, a contest in 2016 evaluated selfies submitted via an app using a robot jury to select winners. AI creators like Lexi, Aitana Lopez, Emily, and Cassidy have gained popularity for their AI-generated content related to beauty pageants on platforms like TikTok and YouTube. Remember, the future of beauty pageants may include AI contestants alongside real-life participants, bridging traditional pageantry with technology. If you're interested in participating, you can create your own AI beauty contestant and join the exciting world of digital beauty pageants. Middle East tensions, explosions in Israel and the West Bank raise concerns. While the exact source of the strikes is still under investigation, all signs point to Iran. The Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, has a history of proxy warfare in the region, supporting militant groups and destabilizing neighboring countries. Israel has long been a target of Iran's aggression, and tensions have been simmering for years. Israel's response. Israeli Prime Minister Naftali Bennett addressed the nation, emphasizing the gravity of the situation. "We will not tolerate attacks on our soil," he declared. "Our air defenses are on high alert, and we will respond with force if necessary." The IDF has been placed on high alert, and security measures have been intensified across the country. Citizens have been urged to remain vigilant and seek shelter if necessary. Jerusalem, Israel. The Middle East is once again at the center of global attention as explosions rock multiple parts of Israel and the West Bank. Israeli and U.S. air defenses have intercepted strikes believed to be originating from Iran, escalating an already volatile situation. The explosions. Reports of explosions began flooding in from various locations in Israel and the West Bank. Residents in cities such as Tel Aviv, Haifa, and Jerusalem were jolted awake by the sudden blasts. The Israeli Defense Forces, IDF, swiftly responded, activating air defense systems to intercept incoming missiles. U.S. involvement. The United States, a staunch ally of Israel, has also expressed concern. President Joe Biden held an emergency meeting with his national security team to assess the situation. In a statement, the White House reaffirmed its commitment to Israel's security and condemned any aggression against the country. Regional implications. The escalating tensions have broad implications for the entire Middle East region. The delicate balance of power and historical animosities between nations could further complicate matters. International leaders are closely monitoring the situation, hoping for a de-escalation and a peaceful resolution. South Korean General Election 2024, Opposition Landslide Victory. By Reuters. Seoul, in a resounding blow to President Yoon Suk-yeol and his Conservative Party, South Korea's liberal opposition parties secured a landslide victory in the 22nd general election held on April 10, 2024. The election results signal a significant shift in the country's political landscape, with the opposition gaining control of the National Assembly. Election results. The Democratic Party, DP, the main opposition party, is projected to win more than 170 of the 300 seats in the new legislature, according to data from the National Election Commission and network broadcasters. With over 99% of the votes counted, the DP's victory is clear. Additionally, a splinter Liberal Party aligned with the DP is expected to secure at least 10 seats. DP leader Lee Jae-myung, who won a seat in the city of Incheon, west of the capital Seoul, emphasized that voters had expressed their judgment against the Yoon Suk-yeol administration. He stated, "When voters chose me, it was your judgment against the Yoon Suk-yeol administration, and you are giving the Democratic Party the duty to take responsibility for the livelihood of the people and create a better society." Referendum on Yoon's leadership. The parliamentary election was closely watched as a referendum on President Yoon Suk-yeol. His popularity has waned due to a cost-of-living crisis and a series of political scandals. Opposition candidates consistently criticized Yoon's management of the economy and his refusal to acknowledge his wife's improper acceptance of a Dior bag as a gift. First Lady Kim Kyeon-hee, who has not been seen in public since December 15, was absent when Yoon cast his vote. Analysts and opposition party members view her absence as a serious political liability for the president and his People Power Party, PPP. Yoon's political future. The PPP is projected to win just over 100 seats, preventing the opposition from achieving a supermajority that could override presidential vetoes and pass constitutional amendments. However, as Yoon approaches the end of the first 2 years of his 5-year single term, he is likely to slip into a lame duck status. His ability to pass legislation will be significantly hampered by the poor showing of his party. The National Election Commission, NEC, is expected to announce the official results later on Thursday. The election saw a record turnout, with nearly 29.7 million people, 67% of eligible voters, casting their ballots. While this turnout surpassed the 2022 presidential vote that narrowly brought Yoon to power, it reflects the electorate's strong engagement in shaping the country's political future. As South Korea's opposition celebrates its victory, President Yoon faces a challenging road ahead, navigating a divided parliament and addressing pressing issues in a nation seeking change. Celestial Dance, the Great American Solar Eclipse of 2024. In the vast expanse of North America's skies, a cosmic ballet unfolded on April 8, 2024. The stage was set and the celestial performers, Earth, Moon, and Sun, came together in a mesmerizing pas de trois. This was no ordinary dance. It was the Great American Solar Eclipse, a spectacle that graced parts of Mexico, 15 U.S. states, and eastern Canada. The moon takes center stage. As dawn painted the horizon, the moon, our silent partner in this cosmic waltz, began its slow traverse across the sun's fiery face. Tens of millions of eager spectators craned their necks upward, donning oversized eclipse glasses. The moon's shadow swept across the land, casting a spell of awe and wonder. The path of totality. The heart of the drama lay within the path of totality, a ribbon of darkness stretching from Mexico's Pacific coast to the Canadian wilderness. Here the sun's brilliance dimmed and day turned to twilight. In Texas, where the eclipse made its grand entrance, lifelong Texans marveled. For them, this was the first total solar eclipse since 1878, a rare celestial encore, weather's fickle dance. But the weather, too, had a role to play. Clouds and storms threatened to upstage the celestial performance. In Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, and Oklahoma, 20 million souls held their breath. Would the skies clear in time? In Dallas, the storms loomed, scheduled to arrive after the eclipse's peak. Houston, Austin, and San Antonio watched, hoping for a celestial reprieve. Bananas and eclipses. And what of bananas? Let's measure the moon's shadow in fruity lengths. An average banana stretches about 7.5 inches. Now imagine stacking 46,449 bananas, one atop the other. That's the height of Mount Everest, but today it's our eclipse yardstick, the eclipse's encore. As the moon completed its celestial pirouette, the sun emerged triumphant. Daylight returned, but hearts remained touched by the ethereal. The next total solar eclipse on U.S. soil won't grace us until March 2033, and it'll be Alaska's private show. For the contiguous U.S., the next rendezvous with totality awaits in August 2045, from California to Florida. And so, dear Skywatchers, we bid adieu to the great American eclipse of 2024. It danced across our hearts, leaving memories etched in starlight. Until the next cosmic overture, keep your eyes on the heavens, where bananas measure time and eclipses weave their magic. Brent crude ascends, geopolitical tensions fuel price surge. By Financial News Today. In a market stirred by geopolitical unrest, Brent crude oil prices have soared, settling above $90 for the first time since October. The price surge. Brent futures. Brent futures for June climbed above $91 a barrel before settling at $90.65, marking a 1.5% increase. WTI futures. U.S. West Texas Intermediate WTI futures for May also rose, settling at $86.59 a barrel, a 1.4% rise. Geopolitical tensions. Israeli embassies on high alert. Reports of Israeli embassies being placed on high alert due to threats of Iranian attacks have contributed to the heightened tensions. Iran's vow for revenge. Following an attack that killed high-ranking Iranian military personnel, Iran has vowed revenge against Israel, though Israel has not claimed responsibility for the incident. U.S. stance. Public rebuke. Washington issued a strong public rebuke toward Israel, indicating a shift in tone and warning that U.S. policy on Gaza will hinge on Israel's actions regarding the safety of Palestinian civilians. New sanctions. The United States imposed new Iran-related counterterrorism sanctions, aiming to disrupt Iran's ability to fund its proxy groups and support for Russia's war in Ukraine. Support for Ukraine. NATO membership. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken stated that Ukraine will eventually join NATO, with support for the country remaining rock solid among member states. Oil supply dynamics. OPEC Plus meeting. The Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries and its allies, OPEC Plus, including Russia, maintain their oil supply policy and urge some countries to enhance compliance with output cuts. Conclusion. The convergence of geopolitical events has led to a bullish sentiment in the oil market, driving prices to new heights. As the world watches these unfolding events, the impact on global oil prices continues to be a subject of intense focus. Most of us want to live to 100. Wait until you hear how much that retirement costs. From USA Today, the cost of a century, the price tag of living to 100. As the possibility of living to 100 becomes more realistic, Americans are faced with the daunting question of how much it will cost to fund a retirement that could last nearly 4 decades. Longevity's financial implications. A recent report from Corebridge Financial reveals that while over half of Americans aim to reach the centenarian mark, the financial implications are staggering. With the nation's median household income at $74,580, retirees might need about $60,000 annually to maintain their lifestyle. This means a retirement budget of approximately $2.3 million for those living to 100. Retirement realities. The average American retires at 62, which, for a centenarian, equates to 38 years of retirement. Social Security may cover a portion, but the bulk of the financial burden falls on savings. Unfortunately, only 27% of respondents in the Corebridge survey feel confident they won't outlive their retirement funds. The fear factor. The fear of running out of money surpasses the fear of death for 2/3 of the surveyed individuals. This highlights the psychological impact of financial insecurity in one's golden years. Demographic destiny. The number of Americans aged 100 and older is expected to quadruple by 2054. However, retirement experts are concerned that many will deplete their savings well before their last breath. A looming crisis. BlackRock CEO Larry Fink emphasizes the growing retirement crisis, noting that building a secure retirement today is far more challenging than it was 3 decades ago. Conclusion. The dream of a long life comes with the necessity of robust financial planning. As we approach the era of centenarians, it's clear that preparing for a financially secure retirement is more crucial than ever. Baltimore Bridge collapse, a tragic day on the Patapsco River. By the Associated Press. Since early Tuesday morning, Baltimore has been grappling with the aftermath of a devastating bridge collapse. Here's what we know so far. The incident. A container ship lost power and collided with the Francis Scott Key Bridge, causing it to snap and plunge into the icy waters of the Patapsco River. Several vehicles tumbled into the river, leading to a frantic search and rescue operation. The impact. Mass casualty incident. Authorities are treating this as a mass casualty multi-agency incident. Approximately 20 people are missing and multiple vehicles are submerged. Unsafe conditions. Rescuers face challenges due to debris hanging from the collapsed structure, freezing temperatures, and limited visibility. The bridge. The Francis Scott Key Bridge, a vital link of Interstate 695, the Baltimore Beltway, extends over the Patapsco River. It spans 1.6 miles and serves as the outermost crossing of Baltimore's harbor. Survivors' accounts. One survivor described the collapse as something out of an action movie. Others shared their experiences of being trapped and the chaos that ensued. Historical context. The bridge is named after Francis Scott Key, who penned the lyrics to The Star-Spangled Banner while observing a battle in these same waters over 200 years ago. Bridge disasters. The collapse of human-built spans has occurred before, from Texas' Queen Isabella Causeway in 2001 to Florida's Sunshine Skyway Bridge in 1980. As rescue efforts continue, Baltimore mourns the loss and grapples with the impact of this tragic event. Our hearts go out to the families affected by this catastrophe. TikTok legislation issue. The U.S. House of Representatives has recently passed legislation concerning the ownership of TikTok, a popular social media platform. The bill mandates that ByteDance, the China-based parent company of TikTok, must divest its stake in the app. This action stems from concerns over national security and data privacy, given the app's potential access to sensitive user data and the Chinese government's influence over domestic companies. The legislation has sparked a significant response from TikTok's user base, many of whom are young Americans. TikTok has actively encouraged its users to reach out to their representatives, providing a direct link to contact information through the app. This campaign aims to preserve the platform that has become a vibrant community for millions in the U.S. Senator Tom Tillis's office reported receiving approximately 1,000 calls following the House's decision, reflecting the intense public interest and concern over the future of TikTok in the country. WorldCoin, the future of digital identity and currency. WorldCoin is a groundbreaking project that merges artificial intelligence with cryptocurrency to redefine online identity and financial stability. Spearheaded by Sam Altman, co-founder of OpenAI, WorldCoin has been making headlines for its innovative approach and the controversies it has sparked. The vision of WorldCoin. The project aims to create a secure digital ID, the World ID, using iris scans to combat online scams, bots, and AI imposters. This unique identifier, powered by zero-knowledge proofs, could potentially streamline online interactions and transactions, offering a single sign-on solution for the digital age. Controversies and challenges. Despite its ambitious goals, WorldCoin has faced scrutiny over privacy concerns related to biometric data collection. Kenya, for instance, has suspended WorldCoin activities pending an investigation into its practices. The project's ability to protect user data remains a critical point of debate. Technological innovations. WorldCoin's use of orbs for iris scanning has been described as both revolutionary and invasive. The project's success hinges on its ability to balance innovation with ethical considerations, ensuring user privacy while advancing digital identity solutions. Global impact and adoption. As WorldCoin continues to expand, its potential to transform online identity verification and provide a new form of cryptocurrency is immense. The project's recent initiatives, such as the Community Grants Program and partnerships with trading firms, signal a growing interest in World ID and its applications. Conclusion: WorldCoin represents a significant step towards a future where digital identity and currency are intertwined. Its progress and adoption will depend on navigating the complex landscape of technology, privacy, and ethics. As the project evolves, it will undoubtedly continue to shape discussions around the future of digital identity and financial systems. Border security deadlock heightens risk of government shutdown. In a tense standoff on Capitol Hill, the fate of the nation hangs in the balance. A border security deadlock threatens to plunge the federal government into a shutdown, casting a shadow over critical services and leaving millions of Americans in limbo. The high-stakes battle. At the heart of the impasse lies the contentious issue of border security funding. With the clock ticking, Congress and the White House find themselves locked in a high-stakes game of political brinkmanship. Funding for approximately 70% of the government is set to expire imminently unless a resolution is reached. The consequences of failure are dire: federal agencies shuttered, paychecks delayed, and essential programs left hanging. The immigration divide. Disagreements over immigration policy have fueled the deadlock. Lawmakers grapple with questions of border wall funding, asylum seekers, and the delicate balance between security and compassion. The fault lines run deep, with each side digging in, unwilling to yield ground. Shutdown scenarios. If no compromise emerges, the government faces a partial shutdown. National parks could close, passport processing delayed, and food inspections curtailed. The ripple effects extend beyond federal employees. Small businesses, contractors, and everyday citizens would feel the pinch. Echoes of the past. This isn't the first time the nation has teetered on the brink. Recent history bears witness to government shutdowns, each leaving scars on the body politic. The specter of dysfunction looms large, and the American people watch with bated breath. Leadership in the spotlight. The burden falls squarely on our elected officials. Can they rise above partisanship? Can they find common ground? The eyes of the nation turn to the halls of power, seeking leadership that transcends ideology. In a landmark move, Congress has passed a historic bill that promises to revolutionize America's infrastructure. The bill, a cornerstone of the current administration's agenda, pledges to inject billions into the nation's veins, revitalizing aging roads, reinforcing weary bridges, and rejuvenating public transportation systems. A unifying leap forward. This bipartisan effort represents a significant achievement in a time often marked by division. It signals a collective stride towards unity and progress, with lawmakers from both sides of the aisle coming together to lay the groundwork for a more connected future. The bill's highlights. The bill earmarks substantial funds for the repair and construction of highways, ensuring safer and more efficient travel for millions. It allocates resources to modernize public transit, reducing commute times and environmental impact. A portion of the budget is dedicated to the development of sustainable infrastructure, aligning with global efforts to combat climate change. Economic implications. Economists predict that this massive influx of funding will create jobs, stimulate economic growth, and enhance the nation's competitive edge in the global market. Small businesses, construction firms, and local communities stand to benefit significantly from the upcoming projects. Breaking news from the New York Times. Massive blizzard blankets California's Sierra Nevada mountains. In an extraordinary weather event, a colossal blizzard has descended upon the western United States, unleashing its fury on California's majestic Sierra Nevada mountains. As snowflakes dance and swirl, the landscape transforms into a pristine white canvas, with up to 10 feet of snow predicted in the higher elevations. Impact and challenges. The blizzard's relentless assault has disrupted normalcy, challenging residents and travelers alike. Interstate 80, a vital artery connecting the region, remains shut in both directions due to the sheer volume of snow. Emergency crews, snowplows, and tireless volunteers battle the elements, striving to keep roads clear and communities safe. The unyielding storm. As the storm rages on, it tests the mettle of those who call this rugged terrain home. Snowdrifts pile high against buildings, and icicles dangle like fragile chandeliers. Schools suspend classes, businesses shutter, and families huddle by crackling fireplaces, their breath visible in the frigid air.